Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Will. So today I want to talk about 10 things that we should never do when it comes to detailing. Now, a lot of times when we talk about safe washing and detailing, we never really talk about what makes it safe and what makes detailing good for your vehicle and not damage it. So I want to touch on some things that we might commonly think that it's okay or we just do intuitively without really thinking much about damaging our vehicle, and talk about why they are in fact damaging your vehicle in the long run and why you shouldn't do them. So let's get to it. So the first thing that you should never do is this. This is a Swiffer. We usually use this in a house to pick up dust and whatever. So a lot of times people intuitively think that if their vehicle is not too dirty and there's just some dust on it, and you usually see it at Cars and Coffees, when your car is just not dirty at all, it's just some dust on it, and you use this just kind of pick up the dust. This is for sure scratching your paint. And if you have a dark color paint, you'll definitely see the scratches after. So what this does is just the fibers are just statically picking up the dust. As you rub against the paint, there's no lubrication whatsoever. Therefore, this is just leaving micro marring onto your paint. And if there is a larger dust, that dust is also gonna scratch your paint. Paint is very delicate, and as annoying as it is, that is just gonna be what we have to be careful of. And just like the Swiffer, the paper towel is also just as dangerous to your paint. So a lot of times when you get a giant bird poop on your just newly washed car, and you just want to wipe it off. So you take a piece of paper towel just like this, and you just wipe it off just like you're wiping off a piece of tomato on your kitchen counter. But the thing is, on paint, the paper towel is actually very rough. So gliding onto your paint, that's definitely going to leave scratches on your paint as well. And usually when we're doing paint enhancement and polishing, you can see spots like that, that people have used paper towels to wipe off a piece of bird poop or whatever, because you just see a circular mark that is scratch-free, and then all around it are just scratches because they have used a paper towel to wipe over, and it's leaving scratches on everywhere but the bird poop itself. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So instead of using these, definitely use a microfiber towel instead with some lubrication like car soap or rinseless wash or even waterless wash. So the second thing that you should never do to your vehicle is just rinsing off your vehicle like this, just because it's a little dirty and you came back from a trip and there's some dirt on it that's just gonna rinse off. The truth is, it's not going to just rinse off, because when you're driving on the road, there's road film that's going to get collected onto your paint. And that road film is oily. So just rinsing it off is not going to rinse off that oil. So to get rid of it, you have to use soap. Now, rinsing off might just sound easy and it's quick. And a lot of times when people do that, they also don't dry off their vehicle. So that brings us to the third thing, is you never want to just rinse off your vehicle and not dry it off. So when you don't dry off the water that you sprayed onto your vehicle, and most likely is going to be hose water like this, there's a lot of minerals in the hose water, and the minerals will get left behind onto your paint when the water has evaporated. Now that mineral is going to sit onto your paint, and with the sun, it's going to etch into your paint. Now that will leave water spots. A lot of people very much hate that, because that water spot will eventually be permanent. To get rid of it, you have to wet sand, you have to polish. It's a whole process to get rid of it. And sometimes it might be so deep that you can't even get rid of it through machine polishing. So that's definitely something you want to avoid, and be wary of water from the hose or water from the sprinkler. That's why a lot of times people tell you to not park next to sprinklers because of mineralized water. So the fourth thing that you don't want to do to your vehicle is you don't want to dry off an unwashed car. So a lot of times when your car is dirty and you got some rain, you just want to wipe off the water drops on it. And you take a microfiber, just wiping off the water, you're actually dragging the dirt on your vehicle, leaving scratches behind. That's why we always wash the car very thoroughly before we even get to drying. And drying is also the most dangerous part of washing because that's going to be the part where you most likely leave scratches behind. So you want to be very careful with it. So the fifth thing that you never want to do to your vehicle is pre-rinsing when it's unnecessary. So right here I got a lot of bug guts on my bumper, and a lot of times the intuitive thing is to take a hose or a pressure washer to just wash off however much we can first. But the thing is, as you're rinsing, you're leaving water behind that's only going to dilute the soap that you are putting on after, which is going to make it less effective. Now, the work should be done by the soap, breaking down all the bug guts or debris that's on it. And the only time you want to pre-rinse before you put on any chemical is when you have a lot of caked on dirt that's going to be soluble by water, and it's going to be washed off by water. That's the only time I would pre-rinse before you put on any chemicals to break down the dirt and debris. So the sixth thing that you should never do to your vehicle is washing it when it's extremely hot. So I have a rule is that if you can't put your hand on the surface for about 10 seconds without getting burnt, then the surface is definitely too hot and you do not want to put any chemicals or water on it. And if you're using stronger chemicals like APCs, when it dries on a surface like that, it's also going to etch into your paint and cause damage. So definitely avoid that. If there's direct sunlight that's causing the panels to be that hot, definitely move under some shade or just wait till later on the day or the very beginning of the day. So the dawn and the dusk is also when the best time to wash your car outside. So the seventh thing that you should never do is leaving bug guts and bird poop on your paint. So as I mentioned earlier, I got a bunch of bug guts in the front grille. It happens a lot of times when you drive on the freeway. And when you notice it, you definitely don't want to wait to clean them off because the bug guts are actually acidic in nature. So that acid is going to eventually travel into your paint and etch your paint, leaving stains behind, and that's going to be permanent as well. So whenever you can, if you see bug guts, try to clean them off. Do a car wash sometime soon. I would usually say definitely don't want to leave them on for over a month. Definitely within a month, I will want to clean them off. So the eighth thing that you should never do to your vehicle is use a microfiber towel like this unfolded on your paint. So when you do that, the towel is at its thinnest, and by putting your hand on it and just dragging around your vehicle like this on your paint, that's going to have pressure points in your hand that's going to cause scratching. So the best practice is to fold it in half like this and fold it in half. As you can see, the thickness is going to be 4 times thicker, and that thickness is going to protect your paint from the pressure points of your hand and evenly distribute the pressure with this 4x4 surface. Now that will be a much better and safer way to buff off or dry off your paint. And another benefit of doing this is that you get 8 sides of clean sides. This is just a lot more efficient and a better practice in car washing and detailing. So the ninth thing that we should never do to our vehicle is use the wrong chemicals for our car wash. Now a lot of times people ask, why can't I just use Dawn dish soap as a car wash, and why do we need a dedicated car shampoo just to do a car wash? Now the answer is, as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately the paint is very delicate and it will react to things that are not meant for it. So using a stronger chemical like dish soap on your paint can cause premature oxidation when you use it over time. Now, if you use it once or twice, it's not going to do anything and you will hardly notice the difference. And it will actually work. But over time, the stronger chemical will start causing the clear coat to prematurely oxidize, and that can cause long-term damage as well. So whenever it comes to car wash, you want to use the least aggressive chemical as possible. That way you can preserve the longevity of your paint. So the last thing you never want to do to your paint is put pressure on it. So when I'm washing the vehicle, sometimes you get spots that isn't coming off with the first wipe, and it's really tempting to just put down some pressure and just drive at it. So you want to avoid doing that because obviously there's a bigger chance of you scratching. Even though it's a clean surface and there's lubrication and it's a safe media, whenever you put down pressure on it, you're still increasing the chance of scratching. Now sometimes you might be able to get away with it, but you definitely don't want to make it a habit. So it's better off to just avoid it altogether and rely on the methods to remove certain things, such as if there's a buck streak right here, all I would do is just do multiple passes with no pressure. I'm just putting my hand on the media like this and just go back and forth. So there you guys go. Those are the 10 things that we should never do to our vehicles. And hopefully this video has been helpful and informative. If there were anything that I didn't mention, please comment down below. What do you think are some things that should never be done that I didn't mention? If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like down below and comment and subscribe to the channel. I'll appreciate it very much. And until next time, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.